What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to another stream. In typical welding stream, Adam Taylor stream fashion, I am running super late. I was designing some image screens for tonight and had to hit the go button because if I didn't hit the go button, I was going to be prepping for far longer than I should be. So I did want to put something in the chat, but that ship has sailed. And I just want to clean my helmet off a little bit. It's been a busy old day here in the AT Performance shop. I have a ton of things going on, and it's really just a whole bunch of random jobs that I'm trying to get through. Now, there have been a ton of delays on supplier ends. I think it's pretty well documented right now that it's hard to get parts, and you know, the suppliers been look at my, where are we? This arm been laying on the floor even today. It's been a flat out day. But the compounding delays from, you know, I've got my own delays waiting for my own supply on parts, and then the parts that I need to send out, or those weird little jobs that I say okay to. One job I've got at the moment, a custom job, and I have been waiting 7 weeks for a part to arrive, and the supplier is still saying they can't give me a ETA because they're waiting on their shipment, and it's very difficult. Anyway, you're not here to listen to me complain about delays. You're here to see me weld some stuff. So I've got this super mixed bag of filler wires here that are too short to do anything and too long to throw away. And I am testing what this rod is by the sound, dropping it on the table. It's a 4043. And you can tell the sound because it's super dull. Let me grab the same size in a 5356. And you can hear it's got a really tinny sound versus the 4043, super dull. So I'm just dropping it on the table to find out what it is, so I can put it away. So if you caught last night's stream, I had a personal challenge to get featured on Weld Porn. I really just want to clean myself off. I had never been featured on Weld Porn before, and had this belief, and I don't think it's a real life thing, but this belief that I feel like somebody told me at some point that you can't tag yourself, you have to be tagged to get on there. Anyway, so last night we endeavored to weld this. Let's get over here and check it out. So we started over on this cube here, playing around with a whole bunch of machine settings to get to a really nice weld, and then we welded out this cube here. And where's the ATP side? This side here. And I posted this up and tagged Weld Porn in it, and where are we? Over here. We got featured on their stories today. So can you see this? I don't know if you can see the screen while I'm moving it around. I hope you can, and I'm just going to wait for the stream to catch up to see if it's working. So I posted this. I posted, my stream is over, and at weld porn, how did I do? And then a link to the stream here. Yes, you can see this. And they replied back last night, damn fine job, and they shared it on their stories. So originally I did day 1 of trying to get featured on weld porn, and we did it in 1 day. It is just on the stories, but from that story that they shared, 160 people have come over to the AT Performance website today, which is really remarkable. So that's really amazing to tick off that goal in 1 day is freaking remarkable. So today we have this let's get in the looking screen. So we got this S13 catch can. So I burnished it today. I burnished a whole bunch of parts today. I want to offer this as a raw finish tank, and today was the first day I felt like I needed an apron. I was actually, which I didn't realize my shoulder until I could see myself in the camera, but I was actually covered like head to toe in bits of 3M wheel and aluminium. I do, when I do burnish, I do have the air purifier on, and I do wear a respirator, but just filthy, and now I'm just like sitting in filth. So I don't know if that's like, am I of the age where an apron is acceptable? I feel like it's probably more acceptable if I brand it. So I might be doing some research on aprons in the coming days. But maybe something like a set of slip-on overalls or a shirt or something might be cool too. But anyway, this thing's been burnished. It looks pretty good. I've tacked it up. I did on a stream the other night. I did say that I want to improve the way that I weld these filter baskets. So I had a tacking issue here, which you can see, and I had an issue in that exact location the other night as well. But I did, after I welded this baffle up, I just flattened it out on the belt sander, and hopefully, which you can see pretty well there, I got a much better fit up than I normally get, apart from this blow through here, and that was apart from being in the same spot, and I think it's the same spot because that's where I start the internal welds. But I was welding some 6mm plate earlier today, and I didn't even think to change the settings back. So I was welding at 200 amps, or around 200 amps. Anyway, so tonight, Chris is here. G'day, Chris. Welcome to this stream where I intend to embarrass myself by showing some 10, 11-year-old welds. But after last night's stream of trying to figure out how machine settings versus human settings work, I thought it might be nice to just see what the changes are since my very first, which this is an S13 catch can. I'm going to compare it to my very first S13 catch can, and I'm not sure if I actually turned the microphone on, so let's jump over and see. Do I have audio? Yes, I do. So down in the corner here, we've got today's catch can, and that's so at the end of the night we can compare it. This catch can here is the very, very first S13 catch can that I ever made. It is this screen here. So this is it fitted in the vehicle. It's quite a different shape to the production model that I make now. So over the years, I've had to change the design because Nissan have had different wiper motors in their vehicles, customers having different turbo setups. things like that have external wastegate has been the reason the snout end, the front end is a lot shorter. But yeah, we've made some changes over the many years. So this catch can in the picture here, let's look at this one. No, let's look at this one. So I made that in 2011. I had an Allmax TIG machine. It was $600 off eBay. I was using like a number 26 torch, a massive torch that I would have to droop over a fan to cool it down. And I would use seconds, water damaged aluminium, which is what I've got this other photo here for. So on that bottom tank there, you can see the water damage on the tank. So this this photo here was my first production run. So after I made that very first tank, this one here, it actually got a lot of interest from people, and I ended up making a batch and selling them on eBay, and that was how AT Performance was born. My very second product, which I wanted to throw up just to show how terrible my welding was, is this R32 catch can, my very first R32 catch can. And I'm shocked. I went back and found this photo on my Facebook page today, and people telling me how great it looks is just awful. Anyway, so these photos exist. They are on the internet and people can find them. But today, we're going to see how good I can weld this catch can and then compare it to those 11-year-old photos. So that's the rant to start the show. I have a new pair of gloves today after yesterday discovering that hole in my last pair. And I only burnt my finger twice today, not replacing them earlier. Down to my last pair, so it's time to see if the Davalo 3M gloves are available again. If not, I will have to grab another batch of these ones. They're perfectly serviceable, but they're not that beautiful Davalo glove. So let's jump in a setting screen here. Okay, let's fire up the welder. The welder is on. So we're already in program 1. I'm going to stay there. So we're on this quest to weld the inside better. And if we get such a nice weld on the inside, why am I changing the settings when I do the inside? I think I said inside before, but I get beautiful welds on the outside. Why do I use a different setting on the inside? I don't know. So we're going to use the same setting inside and out. And I might just put some aluminium foil down on the table. Just so I don't slide this part around and scratch it up. I burnished my plate today as well while I was in burnishing mode, because I discovered that the underside, can you see that at all? No, because oh, you sort of can. Those little black dots there. Getting some arcing issues. I think you can see it a bit better on the Lazy Susan bearing. They're getting some little arcs across the bearing, so I'm thinking I might have to bolt the bearing to this plate, which is something that I didn't want to do, but not getting crisp arcs is a problem for the stream, so I'll do whatever it takes to fix that. How's my day been apart from burnishing dust? My day has been awesome. just feel super under the pump, but we're getting there. We're getting there. Just once we get on top of this last batch of products that I made, I think things will be smooth sailing for me mentally. But yeah, there's a lot going on, and there's no relief from it. Being self-employed, nobody picks up the slack. So, but yeah, I feel great, and I'm super happy about everything that's going on right now. How about yourself, man? It's the end of the week. How was the week? Is probably a more applicable question. I feel like a lot of self-employed people that I'm talking to at the moment are having a difficult time. I want to say mentally, but just seems like a lot of guys are really struggling at the moment, and I don't quite know how to help, I guess is what I'd like to do. I know I can't really help them, but I guess what am I trying to say? Like, I guess if I come on here and invite these people and just complain about my day, it's not really helping. But I guess I want to just say that I feel for everybody, everybody that's sort of self-employed, just in life in general. But I definitely feel for you, and things will get better. They always do. But yeah, just noticing that everybody's not hesitant to talk about what a hard time they're having right now. Spend the afternoon at State of the Arc. Awesome. State of the Arc is where I bought my Kempe machine from. I forget who I dealt with there, but they are pretty awesome. Anything cool? Did you go there to make a purchase or get some Kempe training or anything cool happen? So let's put your welding helmet on. Actually, let's check the gas flow first. Just want to double check that I've still got that. Where the heck are you? Still got 7 litres a minute there, which I do a little bit over. This tungsten that's in here now is 2% lanthanated, 2.4 mil. It's the same tungsten that I used to tack this can up a little bit earlier, so it's in good shape. But I am just going to tack up these 4 corners. I'll chuck your welding helmet on and come back to you in a sec. Alright, that camera stay on? Yes. Alright, so all tacked up, and then I just added an extra tack to this outside corner I noticed I hadn't tacked yet. I do have a slight gap out on the outside there, but that's not right now's problem. But we will have to take care of that shortly. So I'm going to start with this seam here, since I do have this blow through down here, I want to do that while it's nice and cold. So the only variable that can exist is the angle. So normally the torch angle on the outside corner joint would be like this. So I don't think, I haven't looked at any old videos, but I don't think I have a problem, or I don't think my problem is the torch angle, but I am just going to be mindful of that as I buzz around. And let's just grab the brass block here. If I get him over there, and I'll just over here, I'm just going to put a bowl on the end of this tungsten. So we use profile number 10, which is my bowling profile, and I'll pop you in a welding screen. And oh, it's difficult to focus on. Just got a really nice bowl on there, so I'll do everything that I do that I would normally do with a outside corner joint. Even though this is an outside corner joint, I struggle with them, so we're going to just change it up and see what's going on. Had a look at a new MIG. Awesome, man. Also gross, but what do you? What kind of MIG are you looking at? All right, you can see there. So if I just buzz around like so, you can see the whole way you're in focus. Everything looks good. Let's get into it. Put your welding helmet on. Okay, that was not too bad. I did try and use all the little ends of filler wire left over from all the previous nights of welding, so I did have a stop-start just over on this side. Probably my dabs are a little wide compared to what I normally like, but that was pretty good actually. It looks pretty good. I'd like it to be a bit more uniform, but I think that's a step in the right direction compared to the previous versions, I guess, using the pulse setting. The pulse was fun, but it's definitely time to move on. Dura alloy. I'm not familiar with the brand at all, but yeah, cool. That would be for the cattle grates, is it? When I worked for Coates Hire, I would basically MIG weld all day, every day, and I guess it's one of my, like, I vowed never to MIG weld again. So I don't own one, so I don't have to MIG weld. But I do have one product that a MIG welder would be super handy for, but you know, TIG all the way on this small stuff that I make. So I'm going to touch off, I'm going to just fuse up this corner and then reposition the part. So I'll just pop a welding helmet on you guys and get you in a welding screen. So I just realized why I had a hard time welding that and that filter basket, and I don't know how the F it welded, but I never came back from my bowling setting. So I'm still in profile number 10. Let's get in the settings screen and let's just dissect this profile. So where I'm at is I'm at 150 hertz, which is fine, but 5% on the AC balance, which is not quite all the way down, but it's over there. What's the power? So we're at 130 amps. So really, just that cleaning action is the difference. Can I see those welds? So yeah, so which is, I thought we were welding quite low in the amperage. Anyway, weird, weird, and I'm an idiot. So let's get back to profile 1. And things should be a lot nicer. So that wasn't a fair test at all. No wonder I had some puddle control issues. So we'll zoom in here. We will just reposition this prop arm. It's a little bit close at the moment. So we're going to come and weld this side here. Let's get you over here, and I'll zoom in as far as I can. Look at my, I'm doing two times a week now. I am WD-40 and scourer pad on this table. And I think it's because I lean on it so much. Since I now have the computer here, I'm actually doing a lot of computer work here as well. It's definitely only the areas that I touch the table. I did notice my old pair of gloves, which I think I yeeted across the room before, but they were brown from the rust as well. Really struggle with managing the rust on the table from the humidity. I'm just going to put my third hand on that table to stop it moving around. And let's go. Same class as Unimig and Everlast. Yeah, no worries. Awesome. And 351 is a 3-phase machine, I'm assuming. But yeah, separate wire feeder, so 5 kilo wire feeder and push pull. Have you? I'm assuming you have, but used a MIG gun for aluminium before. God, it's a horrible thing. It just makes me think about welding trailers. But, so you're zoomed up here. Let's focus you in. I'm going to cruise along here. You can see that. Pop your welding helmet on. Jump into a welding screen. Something's wrong with me tonight. I was just about to start that weld and totally realized that I'm supposed to start on the bottom here. What the heck is going on? Kelly built. Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate that. I'm a big fan of your stuff too. You're doing a bloody great job these days. I was checking out your profile the other day. We're going to come along this side here. Instead of the top side, we want to get some heat into the part before we flip it over. This all looks a lot better, so let's get into this. I'll pop your welding helmet on and pop you in a welding screen. Settings feel weird tonight. Doesn't look too bad, but it's a really narrow arc, which I'm not a fan of. The settings are the same as what we left off with last night, I'm pretty sure. I think the only thing we played around with was on a different profile, so I don't think we touched this profile at all. We're on the right settings anyway. All good though. Just make sure I'm not running out of gas or anything crazy like that. So I'm just going to do the verticals on this part now. Which I might do from... No, I'll do it this way. I'm just... basically, I've got a little bit of an overhang up here. So I'm trying to just think whether the shielding gas is going to be fine. If I approach it from this angle, I think if I get the torch right down low, we'll be able to get the argon underneath that little veranda situation that's going on. I'll just get a bit of a longer tack over here and then flip it around. So let's get you in focus there. 15 kilo spools, yeah, I think that's what I meant to say. Yeah, awesome, man. The more wire you've got, the more work you can do, that's for sure. Kelly Built, sorry, I don't know your actual name, but if you're still here, did I see the other day that you're getting a Everlast plasma cutter in your shop? My actual question is, are you using a CNC router at the moment to do your branding on your products? I'm just going to pop you on a welding screen. So tacking here, spinning, so we are in the right spot. You're all in focus there. Just pop your welding helmet on, jump in a welding screen. Okay, so a little bit, oh, that camera froze. Oh no, you're good. So a little bit of extra material because of that overhang. I probably could have fusion welded that and still got a pretty good result, but I would never fusion weld a catch can. But yeah, a lot of material there, which was just poor fit up on my part. It happens sometimes. Basically, I either have less overhang at the front there, or I can't fit this rear panel up without a massive gap on the top. And the whole goal when I'm tacking up a can is to make sure that top panel, or the hero spots where you see it in the vehicle, are in you know, in the best fit up for welding. I want those sections to look as good as they possibly can. Okay, ready to flip over to the top. I'm going to start in this back corner back here. Got a lot of heat in this part. Everything feels really hot tonight for some reason. It's not super hot in the shop right now, but it feels like everything's carrying a lot of heat. So I'm going to weld across here and then reposition and come back and readjust the camera. I'll pop your welding helmet on here and jump into a welding screen. Alright, we'll spin around. Where's my tick finger? I think I left it out in the shop. Did I? No? Going crazy again. I know I walked, oh here it is. I know I walked off with it earlier today and thought I'm not going to know where that is later tonight. So tick finger, of course, because these gloves have polyester in them that transfer onto the part. Okay, I'll just zoom you out a little bit, and that looks pretty good. I am just going to pop that chill block on there. Try not to cover up the weld here. And that looks pretty good, so let's jump into it. Pop your welding helmet on. Get in a welding screen. That was one of those welds that felt terrible, but doesn't look as bad as I thought it was gonna when I came out from under the hood. Looks pretty nice. Do get a bit of a wave here. I don't know if you can see that there, but it looks like it does this sort of motion, and that is because when I rolled this, I rolled it a bit too far back and I had to straighten it back out again, which I just do by hand on top of the bench. Really looks good when you're eyeballing it from above, which I can't get you high enough to see that. But we might turn the part up on its side and just review that after. So we're going to continue on welding the top, and since I'm really trying to get a super good weld, because I want to compare it to those old photos, I'm just going to cool this part down a little bit. I'll just move this hose over. And I'm just going to pop you in a welding screen so you don't have to listen to the air gun. Okay, so weld across here, and then I'm going to spin across and weld here. So I'll move you over here, and you should see both pretty well. I'd love to listen to some music right now. Alright, let's jump. First, let's put your welding helmet on. Don't want to forget that again. And jump into a welding screen. Alright. Pretty nice weld. Two nice straight little welds. You can see just above that hole there, a little bit too much heat got in the part. We come right down here is where the baffle butts up against this front panel. So it pulls all the heat out, and then straight away we go to that real thin section where that hole is. So generally I put a couple more amps in here and then get caught out by that hole. Almost happens every time, but when we weld the fitting on, we cover over that anyway. Still looks pretty good. Getting a really good etch line tonight, which I'm happy with. Probably should have run a chill block on the top there as well. I thought I could get away with it because I cooled that part down. Let's get you guys over here. Pop you in focus. Let's get your little welding helmet on. And pop you in a welding screen. Okay. It's the same little situation I get caught out by every time, which is right here. See how the weld gets thin and then thick again. Still looks good from the right angles, but that's where the baffle's pushed up hard against the side wall of the catch can on the inside. And then there's no baffle pushed up against the edge here, and then another one right here. So I get that wide bead through there. I try and control it with the foot pedal, but I think I'm on enough gas and button off, but it gets me every time. Really, really minor, but still like using these streams to point out these little tiny little defects. Still shocked that we got that weld on the inside of that filter cradle tonight. What a weird old setting to actually produce a semi-decent weld. Gonna weld across here. Nice shiny welds tonight, man. It's it looks good under this lighting. But let's get a welding helmet on and chuck in a welding screen. And get this prop out the way, and we've got a nice little weld across there. What's going on there? Looks like where it went over the tack, it's sitting on top of the tack instead of sunken in, which you can just see in the etch line is what brought my attention to it. You see that white line underneath the weld. It just disappears a little bit. That's just the tack there. Still looks great. Looks really good from the top here. And now we just want to weld the underside. I think I just want to weld that last vertical on this side before we flip it over, which is at the back here. You're not going to get to see that, so I don't want to weld it out of position. So I'll pop you a helmet on so you don't get flashed, but I'll pop you in a welding screen. All right. Never a fan of that weld. It's always a strange one to weld, and I'm never happy with the direction that I weld it in. But it's just a necessity. I can't fold that part with the tooling that I've got, so it has to be a seam. So just going to buzz around. We'll do each side and then I'll come back and reposition you. Let me see if I can get this over here, and then we'll be able to weld this side and then this side, which you'll see fine. Let's zoom in as far as we can. Get you in focus. So we're going to start over here. I do want to run a chill block. It's still cool enough, so let's do that. And I just want to do an experiment with the stream since we're not really playing around with much tonight, and see what happens. Let's refresh that. No. Basically, when the stream ended last night, we had OzEvo subscribe, and then shortly after, somebody else subscribed. I purposely didn't turn on that updater because I wanted his name to run for a little while before it got overtaken by the next person. But updating that little subscribed window in the bottom, I need to log into Streamlabs OBS. They call it Slobs, which is fun. Which I have logged into the labels, which is what's showing in the corner there, but I have to actually log into their online streaming software for that to update. So I just wanted to do a test to see if I logged in midstream, if that would update. Really just a personal test, but while you're all here, I'll just fill you in on what I'm doing in the background. Let's pop you in a welding screen and weld out these two little sides. went around the back there. We went around this side here, and I just touched up that little knobbly bit as I cruised around there. So let's do this long straight. We'll zoom you out a little bit and focus you in. Going to be welding down here. Definitely want a new chill block. That chill block is very warm. So I'm just going to pop that up the top here so you'll still be able to see as I cruise on down the back there. And just get the stream back up on my phone again. I have about 35mm of a filler rod, which I don't think I'll risk it. I want to really bad, but I won't risk it. We'll just get a new one. You want to put your welding helmet on, safety first, jump into welding screen. That was a great call on grabbing a new filler rod, by the way. Well done on that. I definitely used more than 35mm. Got a beautiful weld going down there. I did have somewhere down here, I can't really pinpoint it. You can see just where my finger is there, a mismatch in the dab spacing. It might have been there. I had a little blow through, but managed to recover nice and easy. Really great looking weld going across there. And my favorite one is this front one. There's no baffling or anything. It's just a really nice little section of this tank to weld. I really like this weld. So we're going to buzz across the front here. Let's put that third hand on and we'll just get a chill block back there. And let's grab that short filler for this one. See if we can get these two sides done with this short bit of filler wire. I nearly started welding without you guys welding, popping your welding helmet on, get you in a welding screen. Thanks, Chris. I am pretty happy with how this one's coming along. I really love just how shiny these welds have been lately. I know I keep saying that it's the light that I'm using, but that is a little bit tongue-in-cheek. Just got some really good settings right now. Just going to close that gap up. This is the section where the bracket comes out. So I am really confident being able to tap that little gap in and it not be a massive eyesore on this part. This chill block is still cool enough to use. You guys can see okay. Can I get you in any closer? Right there, put your welding helmet on. I need to say it out loud, otherwise I forget. That's why I say it every single time. It's like the mental checklist of put your welding helmet on and go to a welding screen. If I didn't speak it out loud, I don't think I'd nail it as often as I do. Alright, how's the stream travelling? We're at an hour and 15. I'm going to should let you have a look at how awesome this tank turned out. Firstly, it's got really nice consistent profile on all those welds. Looks bloody good. I'm going to put the fittings on this tank as well. Tonight I would like to completely finish it, but I totally forgot to prep brackets. I didn't actually forget, I just didn't have time to prep brackets. And the bracket jig for this catch can is not something I'm ready to show the public yet. So I'll put the brackets on in my own time. The jig for the front bracket on this part is the same jig from the very first catch can. Let's just refresh our memory. The same jig that I used to mark the brackets on this catch can is the same jig that I used today. The rear bracket at the very back of the can I have made a new jig for, but that 11-year-old jig is not something that you guys are going to get to see. But I am due to make a new jig because I am making new jigs for all my products because I've actually redeveloped my management system from cutting through to finished products, and one of those things that I'm doing is creating new jigs for faster to fit the brackets faster, because a lot of my older jigs require clamping and bolting and all sorts of things that just waste time when you're trying to make a living making custom catch cans. Alright, so the other night we welded fittings, and we welded them with just a regular old pulse setting, which was this number 4 profile, which is a 1 second pulse with a 60% on time. That is 120 hertz square wave, -28, and it's 150 amps on the foot pedal. Got good results the other night with that instead of using the mixed-tig setting or a straight current. So we'll just start right there. The only difference tonight is I'm not going to switch to the number 4 cup, but I will use a 2.4mm filler instead of the 1.6. So we're going to be up here. I just need to lift my chair or do something. So I'm going to be up here doing this. Cool. Let's get you zoomed all the way in with some focus. You need your welding helmet on and a welding screen. Was it a straight current that we used? I can't remember. I just sped that positioner up. And just trying to find... Bear with me 1 second. Okay, cool. Can you see this? Let me focus the end of this fitting. You see that little spiral in there? That's no good. Just still attached too. So that fitting needs deburring there. I'm just going to put that aside because I'm not going to go to the trouble of running and finding the deburring tool. Stop that spinning, line that up there. I just want to slow that down a little bit. That was too exciting. Well, I probably shouldn't because then we're going to get different results. All right, that looks great. You need to get in focus. Right there, pop your welding helmet on and get in a welding screen. So I just had to reposition on the in-between. You can see the etch line where I stopped and restarted there when that part comes back around again. And you can also see that little dip we had in that top weld gets totally covered by these fitting welds. I'll just let that come around and I'll see that etch line on that dab there. So that's where I came in from this side, couldn't go any further, had to pick up the weld from this side and then continue it on around. And that's just because I'm running this big gas lens. If I was doing a whole bunch of fittings, I would run that number 4 cup instead, that fits in between there really nicely. But for 2 fittings, it's not worth it. What do we need to do? The -6 on the bottom. Get the mouse out the way and find a -6 here. Alright, and down I go. You guys want to come down as well. Where are you? Right there. And we'll pop your welding helmet on. Just readjust that prop there. So I got this big tail of the catch can whipping around that very rarely am I mindful of before it comes around and hits everything. Welding screen. Let's get this one. Alright, we did it. That camera decided to not... It seems to every time not... or deactivate is the word I'm looking for, on the very last weld. You can hear that aluminium foil dragging around. So, looking at the bottom here, just come back up so I don't have to crank my neck so high. So that's the bottom. It looks really nice. Good consistency. Really good. Do we have, I think we've got that fitting in a different location. I don't think we get to see that. I'll just pause while the stream restarts. Got our hour-and-a-half stream restart, standard for the evening. Can I zoom in a little bit? Did the stream come back? Yes? Okay, cool. The stream came back. Okay, so here's 12 years ago, 11 years ago, actually. It's probably more like 12 years ago, but weld quality, build quality, design, all that stuff. And what's going on in that old catch can is at the front here, there is just one single piece of aluminium as the baffle, and I'm going to say that in air quotes, baffle. Barely even a baffle in there at all. Later, I ended up running a tube system, so I'd run tubes to the back all the way through, and then a deflector for that side outlet before I eventually came up with this system, this labyrinth system that has 3 direction changes in the front of the can, and then the internal breather with a splash guard around it. It is called progress, absolutely. Interesting to go back and take a look at these old pictures and just see how far it's come. Every change that's been made to this product has been from customer feedback. So every time a customer has had a fitment issue where we make a new discovery, or having a blow-by issue because of the baffling not being good enough for their application, and that has gone from the 500 kilowatt or 450 kilowatt Evos I've done. I've modified the baffles in those tanks and then come and brought them back to my old products as well. So it's drag racing, time attack, drifting, all those different modes of motorsport, discovering problems and then upgrading every product that I make on the back of those discoveries. But the welding quality and the design quality, I think, is what we're looking at tonight. And this catch can that we're looking at on the screen in this silver car, I actually got that can back from the customer and gave him a new one right before he sold the car, because I was super ashamed of it. And that being said, like this one here, for example, like that's out. Somebody paid $100 for that catch can. I used to sell them for $100 when I was first making them, and that potentially still exists out in the world, and somebody is still saying that they have an AT Performance catch can with that in their car, and that makes me feel sick to my stomach. But you know, like you said there, Chris, it is progress. Things change, but I hate being judged on my old builds versus what I do today. But I know that's reality, and some people still think that I build a shit product because they have something that's 7, 8, 9, 10 years old now. That's not I guess I'm not defending myself. It just is what it is. But I bloody love what I'm producing today, and I can only imagine what I'm going to be producing 10 years from now, because I'm not going to stop trying to improve. That's just who I am and what I do. Super happy with how this tank turned out tonight. Still can't believe that 5 on the AC balance and 150 hertz is fine, but the AC balance gave us such a nice etch line, and it makes me question the Kempy's AC balance situation. It seems to be that it doesn't really matter what I do, I can still get the same results. I have experienced it before, but yeah, we've still got we've got a bit of dirt, I guess. We've got a bit of brown in the etch line, but it's I mean, that's gas flow, of course, but the etch width, I mean, is gas flow, but the etching zone looks almost identical. Anyway, not a good start to our attempt to try and fix the internal basket welds, but you know, we did make changes, and you know, we are making progress. I'm going to wrap it up there. Chris, thank you so much for hanging out with me all night. It's bloody awesome, and good luck with the MIG welder, man. Still keen to see the soccer balls and definitely hear some progress on your job hunting. Kelly Built, thank you for jumping onto the stream tonight and making a comment. That's really awesome. I know we have chatted in the past, and I'm a big fan of what you got going on right now. So thank you for popping in. That's bloody awesome. Anybody who was in the stream tonight and didn't make it into the chat, thank you so much for watching, your time, all that stuff. I know it's Friday night, and if you're not a welding nerd like me, you've probably got better things to do, but or maybe not. You know, like this is a great night for me, and I get to do it every night, which is bloody awesome. Anyone watching this stream after it was live, I want to know what I can do better. The analytics are telling me that you're here for the last 4 or 5 minutes of the stream, so you might be here right now. Let me know what you want to see more of. I have been thinking about recording parts of the stream and uploading them as shorter videos to make them a little bit more digestible rather than an hour and a half, 2 hours of me welding, mostly adjusting a camera, but some welding. But I really appreciate everybody who views the videos. If you like what I've got going on, like the video. It really, really helps. If you don't like what I've got going on, leave a comment and tell me. But if you have to, hit that dislike button. That helps as well. Still on the road to 1,000 subscribers. So if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, we need that 1,000 subscribers to take advantage of YouTube's advertising tools. Right now, it's very difficult for me to try and get this stream out to people, and you hitting that subscribe button would really help, genuinely help the cause. Have a great weekend, everybody. I am contemplating streaming Sunday night, but most likely I will see you Monday. Take it easy, and can't wait to see you on Monday.